and tried to find ways to truly repent, and then he's murdered, and then it's tragic, because just at the point where he's
almost there to redemption.
where he's almost there to redemption, or he has arrived at redemption, the revenge overwhelms, whatever good is coming out of it. That to me would have been awesome.
Thank you.
Which character that you have played do you relate to the most?
I love all my children. I've been really lucky, there's just one, there have been so many characters that were mind-blowingly cool, like the Beast and Beauty and the Beast, but that was very specific, and then Hellboy, but that was very specific, and the recent stuff that I've been doing on television, Hand of God, I thought that was a phenomenal character to play. I had a really good time doing that, very challenging. And now this new guy I'm doing on September 28th, a new show is about to drop called Startup. It's not a new show. The second season is debuting on September 28th, but a new character is being introduced that I end up playing. He's very much like me as well. I just did a movie for my own company called Asher. That's probably my favorite character I've ever played. But it'll never make it to the theater, so you're going to have to take my word for it. Hi.
That's very, very cool of you. Listening. Sorry, very nervous.
Me too.
You're the coolest person I ever know, and
Thank you.
you're my idol. That's all I gotta say.
Laura,
Hey,
my question my question was, what was it like shooting and filming and like the experience of shooting Enemy at the Gates, the World War II movie?
great. Terrific. Great story. Great filmmaker. Dear friend of mine. That was my third film with Jean-Jacques Arnaud. He in fact gave me my very first ever movie role, which was Quest for Fire. And then he gave me this amazing gift a few years later of The Hunchback and Name of the Rose. And then he, out of the blue, he says, I'm about to go do this movie, and I wrote something for you. And he's deliciously wonderful Russian sniper. And there I was with Jude Law and Rachel Weisz and Joe Fiennes and Ed Harris and Bob Hoskins. Just an amazing company of actors. So I was in heaven.
Good afternoon, Mr. Goldman.
Hello.
Hi. I just want to let you know that since I was 12 years old, the first time I saw you was in Beauty and the Beast. And
I was 12 then too.
And
You don't look as old as me.
I'm sorry?
No.
And I just wonder, who was the director and the makeup artist for that character?
Rick Baker designed the Beast. In fact, Rick Baker was hired before I was. And this is a true story. He designed, he had already seen me do 2 roles where I was covered in special effects makeup. One was Quest for Fire, and the other was Name of the Rose. So when they hired him, because the first thing they wanted to get right was what the Beast was going to look like. So they hired him before they hired any of the actors, before they hired a lot of the writers. He was like the first. And he designed the makeup on a sculpture that he had of me and presented it to them. And they bought that idea. And they said, And he said, I designed this for Ron Perlman. So I never knew why I got the call to go audition for it until years later when Rick told me the story that, you know, that he recommended that they have a look at me. So, I don't remember what your question was. I don't know whether I answered it or not, but I sure had a good time just bullshitting here.
The director again?
The creator of the show was Ron Koslow. So in television, the writer is the key guy, the creator of the show. And then the directors come in afterwards. The guy who ended up directing the pilot is a filmmaker who's passed away now named Richard Franklin. But he only directed the one episode. And we did 56 hours of the show.
And we would watch that show without fail. You know, it's time for being the beast. And that's it. Stop what you're doing and watch Ron Perlman. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank Rick Baker.
City of Lost Children. I was wondering if you'd share a fond memory, anything from that. I grew up watching that film, just kind of filled my imagination with, you know, I was wondering, is that guy real? Did that story actually happen, like, as a kid? And I don't know, I just wanted to do something.
Well, that was like, you know, that was like a pinch me moment. You know, that was like, nothing of that magnitude had ever happened to me before. You know, that these guys, these French guys, who had just burst onto the scene with this movie called Delicatessen, and who were, you know, already being pegged as the next generation of, you know, expressionistic European heavyweight filmmakers. And, you know, they wanted me to be in this movie. So, and I read the movie and I just went, oh my God, this is like, you know, Children of Paradise. It's got this classic sweep. It's got this big look at the society in decay. It's got a Dickensian, Charles Dickens kind of like, you know, Tale of Two Cities kind of, where you see blight and detritus in the human condition. You know, people are just stealing from each other and morality. So, for me to be asked to play the lead in that movie, I mean, I probably can come up with individual stories, but just the idea of doing the film was pretty trippy. And then I was the only non-Frenchman on the set. And so it was the first time I had to take direction through a translator. The directors didn't speak any English, I had to speak any French.
Oh, you didn't speak French?
No. I mean, I spoke high school French, which I failed, so. I didn't tell them that, though. Oui. Oh, oui. Ah, oui. Oui.
Thank you very much.
Oui. Hello.
I wanted to ask you, which one is your favorite? Part 1, Part 1, or Part 2?
I don't know. Which one is your favorite?
Why?
Hard to pick, right?
Well, I have a favorite, I just don't know which one.
You know that one of them is your favorite, you just don't know which one it is. It's the same with me, that's why I can't. I know one of them is my favorite, I just don't know which one.
Hi, how are you doing?
What's up?
I know you got a great relationship with Guillermo del Toro. Is there any stories you can share with us about him, y'all together, stories?
So, I get this beautiful letter telling me that he's about to direct his first film. He's in Mexico, I'm in Los Angeles. And he sends me this, the letter is, I still have it, it's the most beautiful letter anybody's ever written to me. And the script. And then a few weeks later, he comes to Los Angeles and we have a meal together. And in like 3 minutes, it's as if we've known each other for 25 years. And it was like this immediate. And one thing goes, you know, eventually they fly me to Mexico City to start filming. And I arrive in Mexico City and they're all at the airport to pick me up. And I say to Guillermo, so who else is in the movie? He goes, Federico Lupi. And I go, never heard of him. Who else? Claudio Brook. Yeah, I never heard of him. And you know, he goes down the list of another 10 names. And so at some point I realized, these don't sound like American actors. And I said, what language are you shooting the movie in? He goes, oh, Spanish, my friend. And I said to him, you know I don't speak Spanish. He goes, no, I know. And I said, so what should we do? He goes, let's go eat. And every time we were trying to address the dilemma of how the fuck I was going to be in this movie. You know, I would say, so Guillermo, we start shooting tomorrow. I have prepared a few speeches in Spanish. I've been working on them all day in my hotel room. I'd like to read them to you and see, you know, if you think that I pass. So I read this one speech, half-page speech in Spanish, and he's like, he says, you have another one? And I said, yeah, I have another one. I read this out. And he doesn't say anything. I said, so what'd you think? He goes, very, very bad. Very, very bad. You sound like shit. And I said, we start shooting tomorrow, what are we going to do? He goes, let's go eat. And now, Guillermo and I have eaten our way through 6 movies together.
What's up, Ron?
So,
Quick question, man. How close were you playing Cable for Deadpool 2? Just wanted to ask that.
obviously,
I know you wanted to play him.
I didn't really, you know,
You did?
I got caught up in this whole internet thing. My favorite, you know, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but it's an adventure following me on Twitter. But I think my favorite tweet, because there was this, I didn't know, I'm not a comic book guy, and I never saw a Deadpool movie because it's not my kind of movie, but I'm starting to see all this noise on Twitter that, you know, there's this character Cable, and then there's people are posting pictures of it, they're kind of like white-haired guy, you know. And I can see why there's a frenzy being built that I have nothing to do with. I'm just like watching it. So eventually I start participating in this little frenzy, you know, for fun. And my favorite tweet, you can go back and look this up, is, you know, come to think of it, Cable should be fucking playing me. That was the tweet that lost me the job, I'm pretty sure.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. You're a legendary actor. Awesome on Sons of Anarchy also, man. Thank you.
My pleasure, man.
My name is Jared Fuentes. I'm an aspiring filmmaker, and Del Toro's my favorite director. His visuals are amazing. The soundtrack of Pacific Rim and Pacific Rim is my favorite. I was wondering did you ever keep the iconic shoes Hannibal Lecter wore?
He has them.
He has some stuff? Okay.
He has Hellboy's coat. He has, before I get a chance to take anything from any of the work I do, you know, Guillermo has already taken it. He designs these things just so he can put them in his little house/museum. So he has the shoes. I tried to take them, but the security from Warner Brothers stopped me when I got to my car.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Step back from the shoes, Mr. Perlman.
When you were working on Beauty and the Beast, you worked with a deaf actress for a little while. I just want to know, what was it like signing with her and working with her using the prosthetics that you were wearing?
Terry Lean, the actress, we became became friends for a while. She's a wonderful, wonderful girl. You know, there was a whole retinue of non-speaking, non-hearing actors that were, I don't know if it was more than one episode, but it was certainly one episode, 2 episodes. And we became quite close. She's really, really cool. And I promised myself that I was going to learn how to sign, and that one of those things that I've never done, but I don't have anything more specific than that. Cool.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
So I wanted to know if we got any more information on Pacific Rim 2. Can you tell us anything about that?
No, I'm not involved.
No? You don't
No?
No?
I mean, if I am in the movie, nobody's told me about it yet. And the fact that they finished filming, it's kind of a dead giveaway.
Hello. I
Hello.
want to ask, what was your favorite or most memorable death scene you ever shot for cable TV or movies?
Death scene?
Yeah, death scene. What's your most favorite?
The leap in Animated the Gates. That was cool. I'll tell you a little about that shot. But you know, we knew that we both had to leap across this open window from one apartment to the other of this building that was in ruins. And you know, we take turns. Sometimes I go first, and then he goes, and then sometimes he goes first. And so I talk him into going first in this particular one. And you know, we knew that that I was going to get shot as I'm leaping across without any warning, because I'm going first. And so it was an amazing shot. And they're trying to figure out logistically how to do it. I went to Jean-Jacques, the director, and I said, listen, all I know is I would like to be running from west to east, and as I get shot, I would like to turn in midair, right into the camera, and then just drop like that. He goes, how do we do that? And I said, I don't know. I'm not a special effects guy. I just think it would look fucking awesome. And so they tied a rope to me, and as I get halfway across, they yank the rope, and I stop in midair, and then I turn with a bullet hole in my head, and boom, fall. It's amazing. Until we did the 23rd take. Started to get old. But it's a shot I'm very proud of because I participated in it. That how it ended up looking.
I remember that. Thanks, man.
Out of all of your animated characters, which one do you feel is closer to you, to yourself, to your own personality?
The Lion King. Oh no, I didn't do that. Did I? Animated. I don't know, man. My favorite was Book of Life, so it's a really cool movie. Did you all see that? Yeah. It's a cool movie. And a great guy, Jorge, who directed that film.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey,
When you receive a script, what do you look for in a script, or who chooses a script for you? Your agent or you?
I choose.
You choose, and you just get several of them, or they think this one's right for you, and they send them to you. What do you look for?
They send me anything that you know people have sent to them for me to look at, or that the studio feels I'm right for.
And what do you personally look at?
I basically look to never know what's coming next as I'm reading. I basically look like for a script that's smarter than I am. Because, you know, 90% of the scripts you read, you know by page 5 exactly what's going to happen the rest of the movie. But, you know, every once in a while you're just reading something by somebody who not only is capturing dialogue in an amazingly cool way, but is creating situations and a world that you've never seen before. And so you keep having to turn the page to find out what's going next. And if they're able to sustain that all the way through the script, you know, that's the number one thing that I look for. And the number two thing is the character that they're asking me to look at, something that I feel like I can play and be good, you know, be effective at. I don't want to play anything that I'm going to, you know, just like know that I don't have that skill set. So if it answers both those things, that's it. That's my criteria.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, I want to say I love your voice.
Oh, thank you.
And my question is, what's your favorite Clay moment?
My favorite what?
Clay moment?
Claymara moment?
Yeah.
My favorite Claymara moment? Hard to choose. I mean, my favorite thing on the show is the scenes in the chapel with the guys, you know, when we're all discussing and voting. Because to me that was quintessentially Sons of Anarchy, you know? And it didn't look like any other show you've ever seen on television. And I really loved the guys. I loved that group of guys. So when we're all together in those scenes, it was just, you know, shit was going down. Like it was really fun. It was really fun. And I think in those scenes is probably some of my favorite stuff that Clay's ever. My favorite guy to interact with was Tig, especially in the first few seasons. At the end, we became separated, but in the first few seasons, when I was the president, he was my sergeant at arms, and we were together on everything, and we were bouncing off each other. That was cool.
Thank you.
How's it going, Ron?
Good.
Question is, The Shape of Water, the new Guillermo del
Yeah.
Toro film. Do you have any like info or insight about the character of the project that they're running? It looks like Abe from Hellboy. The reason why I asked.
Well, it is a fish man played by Doug Jones.
Well, is there? Well, is it an association? Is it, you know, maybe going into the reboot of Hellboy or anything associated with it?
No, it's a completely different, unique story. I've only seen the trailer for the film, and I've read all these reviews. The film just premiered at Venice Film Festival, and it's the best reviewed film since Pan's Labyrinth, and people are blown away by it. But it's basically a parable about the Cold War, so it's a period piece, and it's right up Guillermo's alley where, you know, the monster is the most beautiful soul in the film, and this woman who's just like this pure, innocent thing. It's a love affair between the two of them. That's all I really know. I'm going to hopefully see it in Toronto. It's also playing in the Toronto Film Festival where I go tomorrow night. So I hope to see it there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
My pleasure. Hi. Hi.
Okay, I guess we have one more question.
On three. One.
She's asking if you really enjoyed Tecate Light. I think you're a little young to be asking that question.
No, I recommend it, man. If you're going out tonight and you're looking to have a beer or two, you know, I'm not a beer drinker, but for some strange reason, when we have play that whole sequence where Hellboy is getting messed up, you know, because he's having love problems. Guillermo, it was cool with Guillermo that get to that place that Hellboy got to where it's like, Jesus Christ, women. And then it ends up singing Barry Manilow. So, have a Tecate tonight. And you too will know. What's the song? You too will know how much you can't smile without her. Yes. Thank you. You keep coming back with all the 3-pointers from downtown, man.
I live in Vegas, man.
I know. Barry Manilow, I'm sure he's put in a few. Anyway, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And just a reminder, he's only going to be here today, so make sure you make your way over to his booth and get your autographs, get your pictures.